Hey, welcome to the Integrate This EdTech podcast. I'm David Berner, joined today by Stevie Frank. Stevie, happy to have you on the podcast today.
Oh my goodness, it's so exciting to be here, so thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I think this is actually the first time we've met in person.
It has been,
Yeah.
but it feels like we know each other.
Yeah,
And
from-
that's the magic of online, right?
LinkedIn, yeah, everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how's ISTE going so far for you?
Oh my gosh, it's going so well. It's always so big, so I always like to tell people, like, if you've never gone before, just take what you can and like manage your time. Don't let other people take your time. Say yes to the things that bring you joy and try to keep it manageable in that way. So this morning I kind of made myself a little bit slower of a morning so I could kind of ease into the day, because like you can't go all day every day by any means. So I think keeping it a little bit manageable, but because I've been doing that and I've been doing these for a little while, I'm like, I'm great, I'm refreshed, I'm a morning person, so this works out great.
Awesome. And so we got to ask you, how many years is this for you?
For ISTE,
Yeah.
I think this is only like 4 or 5. I go every other year typically, so I fund myself going to these conferences. So they're pretty big, and so I always like to go every other year, and then I'll sprinkle in FETCs, TCAs, IdeaCon I went to a couple of times, and then a lot of local conferences in Indiana.
Yeah, can you talk about that actually for a second? Because I see it all the time, like the Spark Summit.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Like, because how was that, about a month ago or 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was about a month ago, yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm like, wait, where am I at? But yes, no, so it's wonderful. Nadine Gilkison, she puts it on, and that's for her district, and she does such an amazing job with that. And Nadine and I were on INSEE is our ISTE affiliate board member or convention that we put on, conference for Indiana. And so she and I were board members on that together. We put together that conference too. So I really got to know her well and like the ins and outs of how she does the thing. She's phenomenal. And she is also an ISTE featured voice, so you should definitely check her out. But it was such a fun conference, good people, and Hoosiers, Indiana Hoosiers are just like good people, like good Midwestern people. So it's good.
Yeah, we could relate. We're from Minnesota, so we
Yeah,
know what's
yeah,
up.
yeah.
As far as, so you mentioned Nadine, that
Yes.
she's come up a couple times actually about having on the podcast, because one of our questions for you is like, who should we have on the podcast that we haven't yet? So that would be your answer.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to shoot her a text as soon as I leave
Okay.
here and be like, okay, you might be looped into this amazing group. So yes, absolutely.
That would be awesome. What do you feel like educators, like, what is the thing that you hope they take away from a conference like this?
I hope they just take away that we are truly better together, and don't be afraid to say hi to somebody, reach out to somebody online. Like, we are all in education, and none of us have gotten into it to make the big bucks or to be famous. Like, that's just, we're here for kids, we're here for students, and that's my number one goal. So there's sometimes people are like kind of nervous to even approach me, and I'm like, no, like, I'm a tech coach in my school, like, I can't even fill a room in my own school district for PD sessions, like, so all of us are like that. So I would just have to say, if you have a question, reach out to anybody, and I think that would be worth your while, if you will.
Yeah, and it's super refreshing to hear, and I know I can attest to that, because like for us, when we started reaching out to people, and everybody is accessible and super kind, like really easy to talk to. So yeah, don't be intimidated. You can go up to people and talk to them. And so as far as looking at like your upcoming sessions, what can you preview for us a little bit? You have 2 sessions today?
Gosh, okay, so that's a hot question, and I'm not gonna look at my phone. So I think I have 4 booth sessions today.
Okay.
And then I am volunteering at the Microsoft AI innovation hallway experience that they have to end my day out today. And then tomorrow I'm part of Adobe Student Ambassador Pilot Group, and so I'm on a panel for that tomorrow. And then that'll round out my ISTE experience.
Okay. And with the Adobe stuff, is there any projects and things that you want to highlight, or?
Oh my gosh. So first of all, Adobe community, professional learning network community, phenomenal. Like, honestly, I get asked by other companies, they're like, okay, how is Adobe doing it? Because they're doing it well. They're just a great group of human beings. They were former educators, they get it, they reach out, but I'm a part of like a student ambassador program, and so I had like a group of pilot kiddos, and we did all the things in Adobe, and like they actually came and did a site visit. So they actually, people from New York City and Seattle, like came to Indiana and came to visit the students and take a look at their work and showcase them. And they make really big deals of kids and their creativity and their work. And so to me, that's been such an amazing community, because like I'm like, I want the spotlight to go to my students, and they do a really good job at that.
That's awesome. And can we talk about Zionsville?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Can we talk about that for like what can people expect when they walk into that school?
Okay, well, first of all, I love Zionsville Community Schools. I was just on the shuttle on the way here, and I'm like, I could talk to you all for days about Zionsville. So I live in the district that I work in. My kids go to the district I work in, and I mean, I'm like, we are in Zionsville until at least our youngest is 18. So that's that's our goal. But it is such a human-driven school district, and I've worked for 3 different school districts, and I had 2 different student teaching experiences. And this is like the only one. Like I honestly, I'm like, I have found like the perfect district because they're truly human-centric. One of the best examples I think is whenever they have like back to school breakfast for staff, the principals and administrators and superintendent are literally scooping your breakfast and putting it on your plate for you with like the hair nets and and I don't know. I think that speaks volumes, and they care about the kids, and the parents know that. I mean, it's just, we haven't had a lot of noise, I think, that a lot of other districts have gone to, because our community members and everybody knows, like, we're doing what's best for kids, and we're raising human beings first, and then making sure that they're academically sound as well. That's extremely important. But I don't know. I think I can't speak best about it. I could keep going. All right, we can keep going.
And we have our schools are like that too. We're in rural areas, there's like minimal resources. It's just making the most of what you've got and that kind of thing to serve the students. And I wanted to mention too, I remember from the podcast that you did with us, like probably a year ago now, honestly.
Yeah.
It was the Indianapolis 500 project.
Yes.
That you did.
Yes.
Can you talk about that again? Because I haven't forgot about that.
Of course I did it again, because part of the Indy 500, if you're in Indiana, it's a big deal.
Yep.
So we had students create an animate to audio project inside of Adobe Express, and kids can use their voices, and then AI moves the mouth of whatever figure that the kids decide to be in. They can be an avocado, they can be a unicorn, they can be anything. But they turned themselves into AI race car drivers, and then they recorded everything that they had learned about their favorite race car driver in their voice into Adobe Express. And so then I did this with every single 5th grader. And so I had like we had like nearly 300 of these projects all in one area, and we were just like one quick pit stop along their reading or along their journey of Indy 500 day in 5th grade. So that was super fun.
And that's always cool too, because you're like bringing local stuff or things that are relevant to students. It's like, well, we know about this. This is where we live, right?
And it's like layered in with like rigor. So I think sometimes like when you see tech, and I hate doing tech for tech's sake. I won't. I've actually turned away coaching cycles because I was like, this isn't a good fit. And I was like, go get the kids in person and have them like know tech. Like, that's okay. And I think sometimes people think like, oh, Stevie's all about tech, but like my master's is in reading. So I'm always been very curricular based. And so I think when we start to lead in with like, yes, that was like a cute prep, but no, it was like highly rigorous, because we were one pit stop, and the pit stops right before us, they were researching in the library of what their race car driver was. And then the next pit stop, they wrote a script. So like we have all of those components, and then this was just their assessment. So if we did take a grade. So I don't know, I wanted to kind of call that out too, because I know we're all feeling here at ISTE, like tech is kind of on fire. But I think when we can start having those meaningful conversations and highlighting how academically sound that these projects are, like we're really starting to move in transformational ways.
Yeah, and it's a pretty common refrain too, like as we're here, right? Everybody echoes that same thing. It's like, we're not just pushing tech to push tech. It's like the students come first. If tech helps with what your pedagogy is trying to accomplish, then great, and implement it that way, as opposed to just like, here's a computer, that kind of thing, right?
Yes.
So I have one more question for you, and this is just about what kind of things do you have that you want to highlight that you have coming up, conferences, potentially something with, we had a friend of the show, Manuel Herrera on. Is there anything that you're doing with him maybe that you could
I
give
don't know. We don't know yet, but Manuel and I are working on a project, and I love working with him. He's so fun. He's just his creative brains are amazing. But yes, there are some things that are in the work with him. But honestly, what I'm looking forward to is. So I think it's also important that we find time to recharge when you're especially in the ed tech space.
Yeah.
So actually in 2 days I am leaving for a 2-week vacation with my family, and we are traveling the country of France. We are going all around the entire country, and I'm looking forward to filling my cup. And honestly, ISTE's my last round. You probably won't see me again until after back to school, to be honest.
That's right, going off grid for a little bit.
I am. I'm still going to post the things, but this kind of rounds out my time. So it's bittersweet.
It'll be France related. It won't be like education related.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
So I'm excited to recharge.
Yeah. And then one other thing, where can people follow you, check out the work that you have, and you have the website you have.
Yeah.
So can you just mention that too?
Oh, I would love to. So yes, so my website, I post all of my presentation and all of my resources. Like, again, we in education aren't trying to I'm not trying to make big bucks here. But I do have all of my resources on my website at steviefrank.com. And then on Twitter, I'm at steviefrank23. It will forever be Twitter. And then on LinkedIn, you can just look up Stevie Frank, and I'm there too as well. So I have personal accounts on Instagram and Facebook, but you don't want to see pictures of my kids. That's for the personal side of me. But those are the 2 places that I post regularly on the professional work I do.
Great. Well, make sure you follow Stevie. Go to the website and check out the Integrate This podcast as well. Stevie's been on there. We did an episode together. So, Stevie, thanks.
Well,
Appreciate
thank you so
it.
much for having me. I appreciate it.